Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and we're going to be checking out how to do so with the brand new Vanguard Sylvaneth box set for the Sylvaneth. Now in this video we're going to go through, talk a little bit about all the units in the box before looking at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial box set. We'll then finish off the video with a little sample 1000 point army list, putting everything we've talked about into practice for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Sylvaneth army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So, the box set. First of all, we get a hero model in the box set. This is going to be a Branch Witch. This is one of the smaller size heroes. It's the tree lady you can see at the front, down the bottom left, the smaller character. Now, she is a wizard. She can attempt to cast and unbind one spell per turn. And she also adds one to her hit and wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by this unit while it's wholly within 9 inch of an overgrown terrain feature or awakened wildwood. Now, she also has the Unleashed Spite spell, which she can do a bunch of mortal wounds to an enemy unit. If successfully cast, you roll a number of dice equal to the casting roll for each enemy unit within range of the caster, and on a 5+, the enemy unit suffers a mortal wound. Alongside her, we get our baseline battle unit, which is the Tree Revenants. These are battle line at all times, 2 wounds apiece and a 5+ save. Now, they've got 2 attacks with their enchanted blades, 4s and 3s, round 1, damage 1, and you get an extra point of damage on the protected glaive from the champion. They can take a champion, which gets an extra attack, and then has the glaive instead of the blade, and they've also got standard bearers as well, where they can move up to 6 inch when they pile in instead of 3. The musician as well with the wave pipes is really good. This allows them to literally teleport every turn of the game, not needing forests to do so. They set up more than 9 inch away from enemy units. On top of this, once per battle round, this unit can receive the all-out attack or all-out defense command without the command being issued and without a command point being spent. We then have a more elite unit, which can be battle-lined in particular different sub-factions of the Sylvaneth, and that is the Kurnoth Hunters. Now, the Kurnoth Hunters can be built with one of 3 different weapon variations. You can either go for the ranged option pictured here with the Great Bows. Now, these have a range of 30 inch, 2 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, rend 1, and damage 2. Or you can choose to go with one of the different combat options. The Great Swords will be able to do some mortal wounds in addition, or you get a nice big rend 3 going with the size, my personal favourite, and damage 2. Now, you've also got the cool rule Envoy of the Everqueen, where while this unit is contesting an objective, friendly Sylvaneth units wholly within 6 inch of this objective are treated as being within 6 inch of an overgrown terrain feature. This is pretty cool. And then they've all got a bunch of different little rules here and there. They can do some mortal wounds at the end of the combat phase as well. Nice stuff. Lastly, we have the Tree Lord kit. Now, the Tree Lord kit can be built as a couple of different character options in the Tree Lord Ancient or the Spirit of Death. The Tree Lord Ancient is a rather tough wizard option, though still only a 1 cast. Spirit of Death, on the other hand, is an absolute beatstick of a combat monster who'll go in and he will beat up most things in the game. You also have the baseline Tree Lord, which is what we're going to focus on here, just because at the starting you're going to struggle to find the points to fit in that nice big Spirit of Death. So going with a Tree Lord is really cool. Their big thing is they've got their own specific Monsters Rampage which can apply the Strike Last effect, and this works really nice alongside some combat focused Kurnoth Hunters, where you can have the Tree Lord supporting them, making your opponent strike last, and then getting your Tree Lord and the Kurnoth Hunters to attack into them. Looking at some other units we can bring into the army, and the Arch Revenant, I think, is the first one. This is a combat-focused smaller hero, generally a hero version of the Tree Revenants we talked about before. Now, you can add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by friendly Kurnoth Hunters while they're wholly within 12 inch of any friendly units with this ability, which is really nice. And then you've also got the Call to Battle, where you can use the command ability once at the start of the combat phase. The unit receives this command, adds 1 to the attacks characteristic of it as well, so really solid stuff. We then have our other pure battleline unit option, which are the Dryads. These come in units of 10 for cheaper than 5 Tree Revenants. Now, they don't get any of the movement abilities that the Tree Revenants do with their wave pipes, but you are getting more models. You're still getting the same amount of wounds, though, because they're 1 wound rather than the 2 of the Tree Revenants. Now, you subtract 1 from hit and wound rolls for attacks that target this unit while it's within 9 inch of overgrown terrain or awakened wildwoods, and you get an extra attack if you choose to get that Branch Nymph in there as well, which is the unit's champion option. They can have 2 attacks each, 4s and 4s, no rend, damage 1, but they do have a 2-inch reach. Going over into some of the newer units for the Sylvaneth that came out with their latest release, the Gossamer Archers are a fun unit. Now, they have 2 attacks at a 12-inch range on 3s, no rend, damage 1. However, if they roll a 6 to hit with these bows, they will do D3 mortal wounds. If this unit has 2 or more models, it's coherent as well while it's within 2-inch horizontally, at least one other model from the unit instead of 1, so you can have a nice big spread on the unit. And after this unit has received the Unleash Hell command and all of its shooting attacks have been resolved, if this unit is within 3 inches of any enemy units, you can roll a dice, and on a 2+, this unit can retreat. So you can shoot and retreat after they've used Unleash Hell. Really solid stuff. Now, the last unit to talk about is the Spike Rider Lancers. These are your Sylvaneth Tree People Cavalry. Now, you've got 4 attacks from the Spike Rider Lance at 3s, rend 2, damage 1. And the Sharp Mandibles add another 3 attacks at 4s, 3s, rend 1, damage 1. The Strike First effect applies to the unit if they've managed to make a charge. And at the end of the phase, if any enemy models were slain by an attack made by this unit, you can heal all wounds allocated to the model. Now, you've got the Musician in here, where if this unit receives a rally command, they rally on a 5+, and they can also pile in 6-inch instead of 3, thanks to their standard bearers. And so here we have our sample army. Now, I've gone for Heartwood as the Glade. I think this is just a really solid one to start off playing with if you are a brand new Sylvaneth player. Heartwood, what it allows you to do is after deployment, but before the first battle round begins, you can pick 3 different enemy units on the battlefield to be the quarries of the hunt. If you do so, you add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly Heartwood units that target those units. We then go on to show our dominance. We're having to control the table pretty much for our grand strategy, and our triumph is bloodthirsty because rerolls to charges are actually something you really do want. Now, our general is going to be a Branch Witch, and she's going to have the nice command trait, which is going to be called Spellsinger. When this general attempts to cast a spell, she can effectively cast and have her range based upon a friendly Awakened Wildwood, which is really cool. This is really good for the Branch Witch's own unique specific spell, which can target a units within range, and you roll all those dice. Now, you've then got Virtuous Harmony as a spell, which will allow you to return models to any of your units that are not single model units in this particular army list. We then have an Arch Revenant. Now, his +1 to hit obviously is a little bit less wanted, thanks to being a Heartwood army. We're going to get +1 to hit against a lot of units, especially at 1,000 points. But still, what he can allow your Kurnoth Hunters to be doing is ignoring the first -1 to hit, meaning your opponent's going to have to put 2 -1s to hit on them for them to actually be -1 to hit. Now, his artifact is going to be the Crown of Fell Bowers, where at the start of the combat phase, you pick an enemy unit within 6 inches of the bearer and add 1 to the wound rolls for attacks made by friendly Sylvaneth units that target that unit. Potentially get your Kurnoth Hunters on +1 to hit, +1 to wound really easily. Now, battle line-wise, we've got 5 Tree Revenants. We've got 3 Kurnoth Hunters with Kurnoth Sides. Really, size and swords, there is a debate at all times over them. Whatever one you want to do is certainly up to you. I like the rent on size at the moment in the current game state. Then you have 10 Dryads as well, and a Tree Lord. Everything being wrapped up inside a single Battle Regiment battalion. I think the Battle Regiment here is really important for Sylvaneth. They can be a little bit frail and suspect to an Alpha Strike. You've not got a lot of bodies in the army. So with that, being able to have Battle Regiment and being able to dictate who's going to go first, I think is really important. We're 30 points under, so good chance we are going to get that Bloodthirsty. Though, if you want, there's some endless spells that can certainly fit in that points value for you. No allies, no reinforced units, and 60 wounds is pretty a-okay. So we're not doing too bad on the wound front. It's more the amount of models we've got on the table. 1 drop, as mentioned, thanks to that Battle Regiment Battalion. If you've got any thoughts on how to start a Sylvaneth army with the brand new Vanguard box, let us know down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and drop a comment letting us know what you enjoyed about the video down in the comments below. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server down in the video's description. Also down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. If you want to do so, you can go and buy some merch either at our Teespring store or from our Ko-fi account, or you can join Patreon or YouTube members. Our YouTube members, when we're on live streams, will get some cool little emojis that they can only use. Now, as a special thanks to all our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give a shout out to them. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lower, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan T, The Rising Ape, Pure Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, Bloobs, Benjamin Suarez, and Red Martin. And a special thank you to our YouTube members as well, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Locklorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Wire, and James South. Lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you see here. That's it though. Thank you once again for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.